world of YouTube live, take two. Alright. Sure there was no one around watching the last one. There's probably no one watching in this one. Anyways, whatever. I don't care. Make my videos because I love videos and interest myself. Especially when I find something that's fucking totally awesome and not too far from where I live. Jeez. Oh, man. Thanks to Unusual Things, another YouTube channel that does ghost encounter and hunting like me, but they go about using voice boxes and stuff. Come to find out, you can get these voice boxes on an app on your phone. I don't know, you might have to pay for them, but you also need a big tablet to friggin' run it, because I know that shit probably takes up a lot of goddamn memory. Anyways, there's a couple Dunstable and Tyngsboro cemeteries I gotta check out. The one I want to check out first, yes, haunted with Indians. And the story why, you will know why and believe why and think why I do these videos, because of the simple fact that anything to do with Indians has got to do with respecting them and honoring them, and all hail the Indians. Which, mind you, I like to throw in there, I got a comment the other day about someone calling me racist about saying all hail the Indians. How is that racist? To me, racist to Indians, towards Indians, is taking down logos or taking down like school mascots that had them for many, many years and changing them, or, you know, not teaching about the Indians the right way in the school books of the histories, and people just learning about Indians being savages and not the kindest person you could ever meet, knowing that they took in the white man coming from England or wherever they came from across the seas, took them in, taught them how to live, and, you know, wanted to be as friendly as hell with the white man, but yet they went and did themselves in by cheating, stealing, raping, slaverying, all the rotten things that are done to people that are not looking like them. And that being said, all hail the Indians is right, because when everybody came over and took over, all they wanted to do was help and be friends. Peace pipe, peace this. That's all they wanted. But, of course, when the Indians started figuring out what the hell was going on, wouldn't you be attacking somebody that takes over your land, your home, your property, raping your wife, kids, and, you know, just literally stomping you to the ground and making all hell's end loose for your life to live? That leads me to the story. In Tyngsboro, Mass. Well, it used to be all Tyngsboro until, they split it up to Dunstable, then Tyngsboro, but I would call them the family of the Tings. Tyngs, Tings. There was a daughter, a sister, there was two brothers and a son, and the youngest son, Edward, I believe it was, lived in this house that was built a mansion. I actually will throw that up. It was on the thumbnail pic. It will be on my thumbnail pics of this video. I forgot to do that, but I got to do it afterwards because I can't do it from my phone unless I have another phone with a picture, but I can't do that right now because I'm in the mix of goddamn this and that's missing, this is missing, and blah, blah, blah. But lo and behold, the story of Tings family. So I guess they built this mansion and conned out an Indian, mind you. That's right. This man came from England, bought 3,000 square miles of land, meaning, well, actually, I think it was Dunstable at first. Excuse me. Bought the land of Dunstable, 3,000 square miles. That is probably the equivalent whole route of the town, because it is a small town. Later split the Tyngsboro because they wanted their name honored, not beheaded or be welded, as they say back in the day, or be scarlet. That's right, like the scarlet letter of adultery and stuff like that. And that's what these people were, scumbags, literally. You see, you got this son, gets a fiance, but it don't say much about, what are their doings and where they were living with each other, they were getting ready to get married, but, of course, the guy wanted more. So he goes out and gets a mistress. Now this mistress, and I don't know if this Blood guy, which his last name is Blood, I don't know if it's related to the Arthur Blood and Lancaster, but there was another family Blood there, but he was not related in him. He too was a con artist, thief. All kinds of nasty shit about the guy. And this Tings, Edward, called him to marry this woman pretendly. He wanted to pretend a marriage. So this con artist, of course, comes and dresses up as a priest, whatnot, or whatever you call him, to make the vows legal. After 3 kids, I guess the guy woke up, Mr. Edward Tings, realizing, what the hell did I do? And somewhere down the line, just didn't want the family life no more. Whether it be that his fiance originally, for some apparent reason, if he kept, because it don't say, because the story's just in limbo of what the hell really happened. I don't know what happened to the fiance, because it didn't say, but he decides to murder these 3 children and his wife. So he did. And he did it with the help of the Blood guy. So, buried them in shallow graves. Of course, it don't say where. I'm assuming that he buried them around near the property. Maybe in the Tings family cemetery, I guess, that's around that house too. But, what the hell was I going to say? Now, knowing this happened, he went on to live his life, but he also lived his life. Oh, that's what happened. He moved to Nashville with this mistress. So his mistress is haunting another house. I guess this other house was his father's house, so he was bouncing back and forth. He might have been, I can't say that the fiance was still there, but he might have been still playing her, as we call players today, but living over there at his father's house. And then there was some family members that said that he went to see in Boston. Maybe he kept that fiance out there. Whatever it may be, I mean, after this all happened and the family members were killed, the other house was in Nashua, New Hampshire, not too far. So, from the original, and I think I stopped and saw that marker. So I remember reading a sign about a mansion. So I mean, if that's the one, I'll have to check again. And I think it was, because it said Tings or something on it. So, that being said, I stopped that day to check that sign out. There's a sign that's been going along through Tyngsboro. I haven't stopped that yet either. And obviously that's the one. But, in that house, I guess he was haunted by his wife. In the other house, though, in Tyngsboro, he was haunted by the goddamn Indian. Because out in the back pathway, now, when I get out there to check it, I guess I'm hoping the foundation still lies there. With the stairs they talk up, and there's a pathway out back to the family cemetery. Just like that cemetery in Fitchburg that I was looking for. I couldn't find because the woods grew in it too fucking heavily. And if you're not with the cemetery society, whatever, and you don't know where it is, you're not going to fucking find it. And I asked them about it, but yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. But this one, I think you should be able to walk up to with the foundation of the old house, which I believe they don't say the cause of it, But there's another story that a gentleman in a horse and buggy days, probably say in the 1800s, came along that house. It was a winter storm out. This is another fucking story. Insane. So whether it not be that house or she's haunting it in Tyngsboro or the one in Nashua, but I think it was talking about Tyngsboro. So you'll never know. We're gonna be passing through these houses. She can be at both of the fucking things. Who knows? But a man was greeted to the door by a woman in a ball dress, and there was a party going on, and it was an elegant dwelling, very partyish, back from the 1800s. And back then, if you know of the parties and balls that they've called them, you would know that you would have to be real formally dressed to attend it. I mean, I'm talking about bow ties, suits, ball gown dresses, and the whole 9 yards. So, this is the thing, man. When you're in a storm and the guy was heavily, exhausted. And when he went to bed in the barn, and I guess his road assistant or something, his assistant, he was with another person, got to sleep in the house, or one of them slept in the house, one of them slept outside in the stable. And he actually ate a meal, supposedly. But when he woke up the next morning, the house was all back to a gravely looking dead zone. I mean, you want to talk about a haunted house, and you want to talk about a perfect example, but it didn't turn back the spookiness, but you can talk about The Shining. And Jack Nicholson walks into the bar room, and they're all dancing, drinking, and he's having a full-fledged conversation. So, either you're a schizophrenic motherfucking freak, or you're that exhausted from the snow and the cold, right? You're going to start seeing illusions. It's bound to happen, but obviously this one was also a ghost in the illusion, which makes it even more fucking choo-hoo. Yeah, I gotta get there. So, when he woke up the next morning and the other beds of the house was all dusty, cracked, beat up, nothing there was elegant to be. It was all back to the normal stage of an ancient ruin wreck, as you would call it. So, this journey now got me fucking rolling. I've always drove through Tyngsboro to get through and go to the Pheasant Lane Mall. Like a lot of places I travel through, that place did have I can say honestly, and believe it or not, if you don't believe whatever, I've always had a friggin' sense in that town of something there. See, I must have some kind of psychic powers, you may say. When I get feelings and I start looking and I start feeling these things, just like when I was out in Oxford, Mass. I had the feeling of Indians all around me. I sat down, Indian style, crossed legs, lifted my arm up, did all this with the hand for the peace, and I just started shooting pictures. I got a picture with a figure doing one of them hand gestures up in the air, like to say, hey, I'm over here. Come to find out, the carbuncle pond there, mind you, at the Oxford High School. I have a video up of it in an ancient Indian story of an ancient stone that they had. Didn't want the white man to get it, chucked it in the middle, and I guess you go there at the right time or the full moon, it will glow out of the water. And like I said, they threw it there because they didn't want the white man to grab it. Probably had sacred Indian powers. But coming along this story and unusual things, had like I said, one of them box sessions at the cemetery there, and I think it must be down the road from the house. So there's a good 2 or 3 cemeteries, and they go to a Dunstable cemetery. Now I don't even know if they know all about this story, but supposedly in this in the Tyngsboro, they have a tape recording there that they used a tape recorder session long before their session boxes came out, or probably even had one. And something said in their tape recorder. The lady says she's going to find it. I don't know if they have yet done that since that video. I mean, it's only got 77 views, so yeah, it happened last year of August. So within a year's time, I don't know if they came out with this, but a lady claims in that tape they have, they got strangled in the Tyngsboro Meeting Hill Cemetery, it's called. The Meeting Hill Cemetery. And that is all in the long, winding road stretch of the Tings Mansion, mind you. And I mean, I keep coming up with this damn cemetery. I keep looking it up. I got the Tings and the Tings Meeting House. It's also along that road. And they had built that church, I believe. It said something on Indian grounds, too. It's all near the Merrimack River, mind you, where Indians lived all along that one. Pawtucket Indians. So, that being said, in the island, I guess, out behind the Tings Mansion was the home of an Indian chief. That's right. And when he realized that he lost his land, like I was saying before, I guess, like I said, they said that he ended up sleeping there with the Tings or something. And he'd always go out to this huge rock that's out there and sit there and look at the island that now he lost. So, I mean, there you go. Stories like this need to be told nor be forgotten. Stories like this is why I think when I started my journey on the quest for all stuff like this, I believe it's meant to be. But just like I say, when something comes up and then this comes out and then this comes out, like I said, that Unusual Things channel didn't say anything about what I know of. I'm pretty sure they might have known something. But like the Vale End Cemetery, they said that was a Indian dwelling, meaning an Indian tribe camp. That means they lived on them grounds and it was taken. So once again, cursed is the Tings Mansion. Because that's what happened with the Indian there. When he did eventually pass away, it is said he sits on that rock at night and you can see him. So, yes, gotta go pay my respects. I'm gonna go see what I can find and get. And these people with the, I think it was the Meeting House Hill Cemetery that they caught very bright light orbs during the day, mind you. Yeah, that's right. Which you cannot see a flash of a camera, which the people were taking pictures with. And that's what they throw in the video of these orbs. And they were big balls of orbs. I mean, they were fucking huge. And then you got a little piece down here showing it on the phone and the orb over here. And they blew it up to show you what it looked like. So, legit shit. Great stuff. On my journey, yeah, I'm going to go look for this lady that got strangled. I don't know if it maybe, I'm not saying it is, but maybe it could be the wife of Edward Tings just roaming the cemetery. Of course, they have children laughters in that cemetery, in the Dunstable Cemetery too, I guess. So who knows what else lies between them two towns that were once one off of Indian land. So that whole town was bought by the Tings. Edward's father bought it, and I believe his name was Jonathan Tings or something. But he bought, like I said, 3,000 square miles. So yeah, that was the whole town of Dunstable at the time. And that was right. They swindled the Indians. And you wonder why Indians went on attack. How many more, you know what? When Indians would make sales with the white men, here's a perfect example. They would get an English hat. It's one of them top hats. Or they would get leather English shoes or something similar to the pilgrim shoes with the little buckle on it, or, you know, English shoes, or English coat, maybe a couple pairs of this, a couple pairs of that, a couple hats. And then the white man would tell the Indian, now I'm going to take 3,000 feet of land. That means when the white man would walk 2 days, they would walk 1 day out, 1 day back. And that was the land they get. So if the Indians would walk 1 day out, 1 day back to look what they bought and took, they'd probably be sitting there saying, yeah, WFT, which would be one of our moments in modern day history. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. So, of course, up until the King Philip War, you know, but actually, that's right, that all happened after that. When King Philip was killed, this mansion was built. 1675. So there you go. Everybody found out across the land of Massachusetts King Philip was dead. And what did they do? They kept swindling and conning out the Indians. So this person that calls me racist, hopefully one day he watches my videos. I believe he is Indian, because he talks as if I'm embarrassing or disgracing our people or whatever. But you know what? If you think about it, how many Indians you hear about in the news or in the spotlight or on television? You don't. It's either two reasons. One, they're sick of being public because they want to be left alone. They don't want to be in the public side because of the brutal battles that they fought in the past. They just want to be left alone. They want their land, and they want to be left alone. Or two, they just don't want no part of the media. Which, I mean, they do have videos up on YouTube. Great dances you can catch of great past Indian tribal dances. But they don't want to take the spotlight as highly as anything more than just showing their culture and how respectful and great they are. They don't want to go off beyond the sights of being, you know, oh, what a best, like, say, so the Kardashians. Gonna rub it in your fucking face that they're billionaires. They take your money and, oh, they'll laugh in your face. No, Indians don't want to be like that. Indians want to just show their culture, how they live, show you some things of dance and what they used to, how they used to live or whatnot, and that's it. Respects. Huge hail the Indians. They were here before the white man, as I should keep saying we, as I do have Indian in my blood. So we were here before the white man. White man should respect, especially of today. But then again, you look at other foreign countries coming over here, refugees, illegal immigrants, yet they can take over and make us do things we don't like. So karma's a bitch, as you can't say the Pledge of Allegiance, as you can't say God bless you, and as you can't disgrace a Muslim when they, or some other religion with their hats on their head, or wear their mask on their face. If anybody feels offended of this, and if anybody feels that, you know, oh, these people are coming over here and taking over, or maybe you have to learn their language and speak, how would you like that? How would you like to have to speak a foreign language and be forced to speak it? You have to be forced to worship Allah. What if that was to happen? Well, feel the Indians. It's already been there, done that. That's why they have the so-called Indians with English names or American names or English names. Then you got the, what the hell do they call them? The praying Indians. You must pray to our God and religion. And guess what? Us Indians don't believe in God. And now I can tell why all my life I had a strong belief of not believing in God, because of why. No, I believe in the spirits of ancient warriors and chiefs that lived amongst us. That's who I pray to. That's right, just like the great Chief Metacom. But anyways, I'm gonna go pay respects to that chief that lost his island with the Tings family. And land, too. Great video coming up. Great session. I'm gonna see what I can catch for ghosts, too. Hell, even if I can get there at night, it's gonna be done. But until that next video, YouTube Nation, that's my next project. The Tyngsboro Dunstable hauntings. And how this crooked Mr. Edward, also known as Edward the Player. What the fuck? We're gonna see what we can find, ghost-wise. Orbs, Indian spirits, whatever it may be. I hope I find something great. Till the next video, be safe, take care. You never know what's out there. You never know what I'm gonna find, damn it. And I want to thank once again for Unusual Things for their videos and leading me the way to something other than what you guys find, and find more. No offense. But I'm out. Be safe.